Okay, good morning everyone. So in yesterday's class, we discussed about the load balancing, right? How application load balancer, what is load balancer, what is scalability, vertical scalability, horizontal scalability, and then we discussed about load balancer. What is the purpose of load balancer? What is the purpose of load balancer? To forward the traffic to the target instances. What are the different ways we can configure in the load balancer? How to forward the traffic? One is path-based, instance-based, string-based. Okay. After that, we discussed about different types of load balancers. One is application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer. We have one more classic load balancer. We are not going to discuss that. That is almost depreciated. Okay. In application load balancer, what we have done, we have created a load balancer, and then we have implemented the application load balancer. As part of the use case, what we have done, we have bring down one instance and see whether the traffic is routing to two instances or one instance. So all that we have verified. Okay. So the application load balancer completely based on the HTTP and HTTPS traffic. That is the protocols used to route the traffic in application. Whereas with respect to network load balancer, it is based on the TCP, UDP traffic, and TLS traffic. That is the network. Okay. Gateway we will discuss how it will be. Generally, it is for intrusion detection, avoiding the unwanted traffic. For all that, we will go with the gateway. Okay. So okay, before that, now we come to the phase of using the AWS, most of the services, right? To control the budget. Okay. Just go to the, so that it will notify you when your billing crosses the free time. Okay. Whenever the billing amount is adding to your account, right? Whenever the billing amount starts adding to your account after free time, like after 750 hours of usage for EC2 and some other services, there will be some limitation. After that, AWS will notify you that your budget crossed the free limit. Okay, for that, there will be a service, billing and cost management. Okay, go to billing and cost management. Go to budgets. Okay, you can create a budget. Just you can customize it as per your requirement. Just use a template, zero spend budget. Click on this. After clicking on zero spend budget, just click on create budget. Okay, once you click on this create budget, right, a budget will be created for you. When the billing will start, right, it will be notified to you that $0.01 has been free time limit has completed. The AWS start billing for if you use the account. Okay. So if you want to still more look at the pricings and all, right, what are how much billing is happening and everything, just you can verify in the how much budget you have been spent, bills. Okay, in the bills you will get every monthly bill statements. Okay, generally separate team will be there for each service. What are the services that you are using? For that, how much billing is happening? Okay, accordingly. See, for I'm using this RDS $0.05. For remaining, I didn't get any for this month. Okay, in the same way, just there will be multiple options. Billing period you can see for every month. Okay, you can monitor all this. This is like self-explanatory. You can explore it. Okay, you will get some idea. There are many things like you can budget reports also. You can create monthly budgets, yearly budget. Okay, monthly budget, cost, daily savings, daily utilizations. There will be many things. Okay, pricing calculator also would be there. Okay, how this pricing calculator works for each instance, how what would be the pricing. So you all get to know using this. Try to explore this. Okay. Okay. So we'll quickly see how to create an application load balancer. Okay. So for that, what we did, we have created first use Amazon Linux free tier. First, we need to we should have some instances. For that, you need to create a target group for those instances. Okay, just select SQ1, create a new service group, go to advanced, use the commands to just start the HTTP web server, create two instances. Okay, two instances is launched. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to create the load balancer. For that, create load balancer, we have multiple types of load balancer. Create the load balancer. The name of the load balancer give as demo application load balancer. Okay, for that internet facing IP address. Okay, now okay, no worries. We'll select in which availability zones this should present. Okay, select all the ones. Create a new security group. Okay, the security group would be demo SG, demo security group for ALB, right? Inbound rules. Where should the traffic? It should get all the traffic from the HTTP traffic from anywhere. We are accepting all conditions. Outbound rules means it is exposed to internet. No, we don't connect to the ALB, right? We don't log into ALB. We log into the instance. Linux instance is 422. Okay, this is ALB. Only it will take the traffic and route it to the target instances. Okay. The name would be demo security group for ALB. Create one security group. Okay. So yesterday we have created one security group, right? It is already present. So we will use that one. Okay. Listeners and routing. For that, what we have to do? It is routing the traffic to forwarding the traffic to the target groups. You have to include the instances. Target group name is demo PG ALB to understand. It is using this HTTP protocol port 80. Health checks. AWS will take care. What are all the instances that you are using? Include as below. Create target group. Okay, demo TGLB target group has been created. Use the target group. Okay, listener tags, don't worry about all this. So you have creating the load balancer. Simple steps. Yesterday we performed the same steps for almost 1 hour. Okay, with in detail explanation. So you can create it. So it will be very easy to prepare a documentation also using this. I want everyone. Okay. Now it is in provisioning stage. This is how we will create an application load balancer. Let it create. Now network load balancer. Network load balancer, what is the difference? The load balancer mechanism is same. But in case of network balancer, the traffic which it is getting is why we will use the network load balancer basically to handle huge number of requests, like millions of requests. So in that scenarios, we will use network load balancer, and the traffic will route to the TCP, UDP, and TLS certificates. TCP, UDP is the ports. Okay, for that we will use the network load balancer. Okay, now create a load balancer, network load balancer. Everything will remain same. Only the port will change here. That's it. The protocol, TCP protocol will change here. Okay. I am using demo network load balancer, NLB. Okay. Internet facing, same. Click on the availability zones where you want to create. Okay. Now create a security group. So here in security group, demo SG NLB to get the difference. Security group for NLB. What is the rule you have to add here? Custom TCP. Let's go with the TCP protocol. Okay, here we have to go with the HTTP only because it is taking the connection from outside. When you are accessing the load balancer, it is taking connection from the outside. Internally, it will use the TCP protocol. Okay. Outbound rules, create a security group. Okay, see here the protocol will be forward the traffic to the using TCP on port 80. Okay, create the target group with some basic configuration. Target group will be demo. Everything, all parameters would be same. No need to worry about it. Only thing is the protocols that we'll use will vary. That's it. Demo target group for NLB. Okay, health checks, it will take care. So what 2 instances which are using that, I am using the same instances. Create a target group. Demo TGNLB is a target group created. The parameters will be the same. Okay, so here the only difference would be the protocol will be the TCP protocol. This is how we will create a network load balancer. Okay, network load balancer. Okay, the follows TCP and UDP traffic. You can mention in the protocols, you can mention TCP or you can change it to the UDP depending on the application, what traffic it has to route. Right? In the same way, for each NLP, there will be, when you selected the availability zones, right? You have selected availability zones. In that availability zones, for each availability zone in the backend, one IP will be configured. So that's why one static IP per availability zone, it will configure automatically AWS by us. If you want to configure elastic IP, you have to create one elastic IP and you can assign that. Okay. Same way, using TCP rules, the traffic will be forwarded to the backend. Either it will be same. The routing will always be to different mechanisms of routing, right? The same different mechanisms of routing will be followed. It will be for instances, it will be for path-based routing, everything. Only the traffic will change. Okay, it will be for target groups. It may for IP address and also another network. The traffic sometimes it has to route to another IPs also. It may not be always EC2 instances. It may be another devices also. Okay, for that IP based traffic we can say. Okay, and it can divert the traffic to the application load balancer also. The target group may be application load balancer also. Again, we can route the traffic to application load balancer. In that way also we can configure. Okay. Now, this is about the simple network load balancer. Okay. So the gateway load balancer. The gateway load balancer is like, the purpose of gateway load balancer is to intrusion detections, to avoid unwanted traffic. Okay. And also some firewalls will be, if there are some firewalls, but still the traffic is coming. So to avoid those traffic, we'll go with the gateway load balancer. In gateway type of load balancer, the traffic routing will be okay. There are number of users. Okay, if there are number of users, these users are accessing the network load balancer. Okay, and this is your application. Your application is configured in some target groups, right? It may be each target group may be it can contain number of instances. When the users accesses this network load balance, this is gateway load balancer. Gateway load balancer. Okay, when they send the traffic to the gateway load balancer, what it will do is it will send the traffic to another instances. Assume there are some EC2 instances. There are some rules defined in this EC2 instances. So it will forward all the traffic to this. What it will do, it will, depending upon the rules defined here, it will send the traffic back to the application. Something happened. it will send the traffic back to the application. If there are assume some 1,000 connections are coming here. Depending on these rules that are defined in the filtering the traffic, there are some EC2 instances, or in that there may be some devices. It will filter the traffic from that unwanted traffic. If there are any traffic which are not required, it will block those traffic. It will not send to the application. That is how the rules. If there are any cyber attacks, okay, cyber attacks, what you will do? You will use some security tools. You will install some security tools here. What are the traffic that are coming? It will validate whether the traffic that are coming is a valid traffic or not. If it is that, the security tools will detect this is a problem. So it will drop that connections. Okay, there are different mechanisms would be there to identify it. Okay, only allow traffic from certain IP address. That is also one rule. Same inbound rule, outbound rule, right? In the same way, we can allow traffic from only specific regions. Don't allow traffic from other regions. If there are someone tries to access from other regions, that is unwanted traffic only. Okay, if they want to send some files which are not needed to do some vulnerabilities, to send some vulnerabilities to the application. Okay, there will be some kind of vulnerabilities, like they will simply send a file to launch 1,000 EC2 instances at a time. Okay, that kind of cyber attacks will happen in the cloud. So you should maintain a security mechanism in such a way that to avoid all those. Okay, there are scenarios that happen. So always billing calculator should be made. There should be. That's why billing team will be very careful, and also the security team also will be very careful. Should be very careful. Okay. So here, what happens? It will receive all the traffic, millions of connections. Then here, it will send that all traffic to that EC2 instances or maybe any devices. It will allow only certain type of traffic, and it will avoid different unwanted traffic, vulnerabilities, everything. It will drop here. So it will send only, assume 500 connections to the application. Application will process it. This is how the gateway load balancer works. This is like very complex type of setup, gateway load balancer. Okay, so for certification purpose, interview explanation purpose, this is enough. Okay, so only thing is you need to network. Basically, this will use for networking related traffic only. We'll use this gateway load balancer. Firewalls, intrusion detection, prevention system, deep packet inspection, means what are the traffic that is sending the data, right? It will analyze the packets also. Then always in the network, data will be sent in the form of packets. Data another packets like a transfer also. Okay, it will analyze those also, the gateway load balancer. It operates at the network layer 3. Okay, there are different 7 layers of networking mechanism, right? So it operates at the layer 3. Okay, and it uses the Geneve protocol on port 6081. So this is all you need to know about the gateway load balancer. Right? Same gateway load balancer also route the traffic to the backend EC2 instances or backend IPs also. Okay, now clear? Any doubts? Sugandha? Dilip, any doubts? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah,
Okay. Hope it is clear, right? Now you should be
Yes,
able
sir.
to understand application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer.
Good.
You should be
Yes, sir.
clear on this topic. Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, see, For example, you have created a load balancer. Assume it may be any kind of application load balancer or network load balancer. There are users who is sending the traffic U1, U2, U3, or you can say instead of users, you can say customer 1, customer 2, customer 3. 3 clients or 3 customers, you can say, sending the traffic to your load balancer. Here you have created 3 EC2 instances, V1, V2, V3. If you want to configure the load balancer in such a way that all the traffic from this customer C1 should route to V3 only. All the customer that C2 should traffic to V2 instance. All the customer C3 should route the traffic to V1 instance. Earlier, how it will happen, the traffic routing, automatically it used to divert the traffic between the instances. The load balancing, if there are some 500 requests are coming, 500 will go to one instance, 500 will go to another instance randomly, depending on how the connections are coming. Depending on the queue, it will route the traffic. But you don't want to do that. You have to do it based on the specific customers here. Okay? Means customers means just create a rule in such a way that it is getting the connection from certain IP address or certain region, like that. So to do that, there is an option in load balancers called sticky sessions. Sticky sessions, or we call it as session affinity. Sticky sessions or session affinity. Using this option, you can enable the traffic to route to specific VMs only. Okay? There will be option in the load balancer configuration to enable the sticky sessions. Okay? Clear? So simply, what are the kinds customers? It is sending the traffic to the specific backend instances. Okay? How it will perform means there should be some mechanism, right? There should be some logic defined. Okay? This will use a term called cookie. Using cookie, it will route the traffic to the specific instances. We call it as cookie. Cookie is not like a biscuit. Okay? Using cookie. There will be 2 types of cookies. One will be application-based cookie. Another one is duration-based cookie. 2 types. Okay? Means for specific duration, send the traffic to only one instance. Only for 1 hour, send all this traffic to V3, V2, V1 for respective clients. Depends on the application also. If application, for the same application, if apparels are related, application is configured here, send the traffic to the application based. If A1, A2, A3 applications, for example, you consider. Okay, application based cookies means if you configure this, it will route the traffic based on the application. Okay, so the session affinity concept is like sending the traffic to specific EC2 instances. It can be achieved through cookies. And there are 2 different types of cookies out there: application based cookies and duration based cookies. For that cookies, there will be some specific names will be there. Application based cookie, AWS NLB APP. No need to remember this, just you understand. Okay. this cookie name is reserved for this. So in the backend, it will use these codes. If you select application-based cookies, right, in the configuration, in the backend, using this terminology, the traffic will route. Okay, it will use some backend mechanism, and all the traffic with application-based cookies will be routed to that specific instance. Duration-based cookies means with this name, it will be AWS ELB, AWS ALB. Based on this, it will route. Okay. Okay. Now we will see in the load balancer, we have created two load balancers, right? Now we have application load balancer and okay. In the demo target load balancer, you will have different attributes. Here, go to attributes. Go to attributes. Here you will find an option, turn on stickiness. Okay. If you turn on stickiness, there will be two types, load balancer generated cookie, application based cookie. Okay, and duration will be there. Okay, just select this and don't worry about all this configuration. Save the changes. Now stickiness has been enabled. This is your application load balancer. This application load balancer can be this is TG demo application load balancer. This is ARN DNS name. This is the welcome to Edipoly. Okay. Okay. The configuration, I didn't give the IP address. That's why we are not getting the IP address. Okay. So without that, you cannot clearly distinct which IP address it is getting. So for that, what I will do, I will change the connect to the EC2 instance. Okay, just I'm mentioning the IP address of this server. Okay, to reflect that, what I have to do, I have to restart the service. Okay, now I have it for one server, 99. I'm using the same for another server. Now the load balancer is I missed something. Is it hostname -f only? Hostname -f only, right? Okay, we are getting that. You are typing here, we are getting this, right? Okay, 1 second, let me check. Maybe somewhere I mentioned. Welcome to Eduponde. Okay, so it is now after enabling this, right? It should route to the specific only one IP. Okay, if you get the IP, I think yesterday we have used it, right? What is the command? I forgot. Here I'll get it. Okay. Yeah, restart అయింది కానీ కమాండ్ ప్రాపర్ గా రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవ్వట్లేదు. Somewhere I should have mentioned that. Command? ఇది ఉన్నదా? కరెక్టే కదా? పోస్ట్ నేమ్ -f. Again, another problem is it not happen to restart. Okay, no worries. Okay, so to understand this, which See here you can see AWS ALB cookie. Cookie has been set here in the backend. If you enable sticky session, okay, you in the backend you can see even if you always it will route to this cookie based on this a name will be generated application based cookie we have selected, right? So this will be tagged to the some random value, and because of this in the backend logic it will always route to the single instance only. Okay, now if you see it will always the route this ALB will route to the demo US East 1B instance. See headers, right? Demo ALB 21. Okay, it will not change 6355. Means just it is a DNS name. This is the DNS name, right? In the backend, it will not change to the different servers. It will be only forward to traffic to the one server only. This is how you need to enable the sticky session. Okay, you got it right. So we'll try. You will try. You can try it with this command. When you launch the instance, only try that command. It will work. Okay. So what we have done, we have enabled the sticky session. Where we have enabled, we have enabled in the target group attributes. Okay. Disable it. You have disabled that sticky session. Okay, now the traffic will route to the two instances. You observe, you can observe this only when the IP address will come. Okay, try that one. When you do that, you will get to know the difference. I will also check why it is not reflecting. Yes, needs to undo. Okay. This is all about session affinity or sticky sessions to route the traffic to the only one backend instance that can be achieved through this one. Okay. There is another concept called cross-region load balancing. Okay, cross-region load balancing means okay. This is your load balancer. Okay, traffic is coming from this. Okay, here in this region, assume you have created 3 instances, or you can consider 4 instances. In this region, you have created 2 instances. Assume it is an application load balancer. Okay, if total 6 instances are there. For example, if 60 connections are coming, if cross-region load balancing is enabled, the traffic will route to these 6 instances equally. 10 for this instance, 10 for this instance, 10, 10, 10, 10. In this way, the cross-region load balancing will be work. If you enable the cross-region load, if you disable it, cross-region load balancing, out of 60 connections, 30 connections will come here, 30 connections will come here, and this 30 will divide between these 2 instances, and this 30 will divide between these 4 instances. Okay, this concept is called cross-region load balancing. Okay, to route the traffic equally between the backend instances is known as that will be achieved using cross-region load balancing. Okay, in application load balancer, cross-region load balancing will enable by default. In network load balancer, in gateway load balancer, that cannot be by default that option would be there. Okay, that option is available. Go to load balancer, application load balancer, go to target group, attributes, cross region load balancing, edit the option, down drop in target stickiness. Okay, see cross region load balancing, you can on it, off it. Okay, this is how you can achieve this cross region load balancing. Okay, this you will get this very high cost. Okay, just to understanding purpose, it will be enough. Cross region load balancing is possible for application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer. Okay, you can enable it according to your requirement. Okay, whereas in case of network load balancer, we have network load balancer also, right? In network load balancer, cross zone load balancing is by default it is off. If you want to enable it, zonal shift load balancer, client routing, availability zone, any availability zone default. Disable cross zone, this is by default it is disabled. If you enable it, it will work. Okay, so this cross zone load balancing in application load balancer, this is by default enabled. This can be, if you want to disable, go to the respective target group and disable it. Okay, this can be achieved at the target group level by default, because by default application load balancer will be enabled. In network load balancer, by default it will be disabled, network and gateway. If you want to enable, just here you can enable it directly at the load balancer level. Whereas in case of application load balancer, in attributes, you can see cross region load balancing is by default on. If you want to disable it, go to the respective target group. In target groups, there will be attributes. In attributes, you can edit it, and in cross zones, you can disable it. Okay, this is all about the different types of load balancers, application, these things, application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer, and what are the features. Sticky session affinity or sticky sessions can be achieved through cookies, cross-region lead balance, cross-region load balance. These concepts are enough for us to crack the certification, or to at the implementation level also. This will be very much enough. Okay, this is all about. So practice is very, very important here. Please practice. Last two classes are very important. The next topic we will discuss tomorrow is auto scaling groups, how we can achieve that. Okay.